Hello, Manoj. Lovely to see you in Davos.
Likewise, Vaishali, pleasure to see you.
Fantastic. It's an honor to have you today. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. And of course, the topic is AI and Gen AI.
I wouldn't have guessed.
So first, how has AI shaped Juniper's business?
We would like to think of ourselves, our company, as a company who is a keeper of the internet. We build routers and switches. We've been part of the internet revolution, which happened about 20, 25 years ago. Internet and smartphone revolution. We powered the networks which made all of this possible. And now I believe AI is that next inflection point, in some ways even bigger than the internet revolution. So for Juniper, we've been investing in AI for the last 6 to 7 years. We had invested in AI ops, specifically with one thing in mind. The networks are too complex. It doesn't need to be, you don't need a PhD to manage a network. You don't need to spend years to manage a network. It's got to be simple. So about 6, 7 years ago, we acquired a company called Mist, and then we mystified the entire Juniper portfolio with that company. And what they did was an amazing thing, a cloud-native, fully microservices-based AI cloud and an AI engine together, which can look at all aspects of the network. Day zero, you just scan the barcode, QR code, and things are up and running. And then the whole network self-discovers. And then the best part is when it operates, it's a self-healing network.
I was just thinking self-healing, actually, yes.
And the self-healing comes because, we are able to collect about 15 to 20 data points on a per second basis from each of the, whether Wi-Fi equipment, the LAN equipment, or the WAN equipment, and put them all together. And the AI engine starts learning over a period of 6 to 7 years. Now we've become so proficient that 90% of the problems can be solved before they happen. ServiceNow is one of our largest customers. 90% of the trouble tickets have been eliminated. And that's one of the sea change which is driving this evolution for Juniper. So Juniper has been in the midst of AI, and now Gen AI puts that into a, overspeed.
Exactly. Wow, I had actually no idea that, you were so much along in the journey. And actually what you're talking about is simply fantastic to hear. So I'm going to ask you, if you've done so much, it definitely has had an impact on your workforce. Can you talk a little bit about that? Or also, how are you using technology to impact operations?
Love to. I think I'll start with customers always. Start with customers first. If you look at our customer base, it starts off with, even something as simple as you cannot connect to the network. You immediately blame the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi sucks.
Yes.
That's what people say, right? But it may have nothing to do with Wi-Fi. It may have something to do with a faulty cable.
Yeah.
It may have something to do with a switch. It may have something to do with the internet connection through the service provider. So we realized, okay, what we need to do is make things easy for the customers, easy to operate. And for the end user, like you, Vaishali, you're on your Zoom or your Teams call, it should be flawless. It doesn't matter what the problem is, we should self-correct it. So with that vision in mind, our customers found it wow, things just work. And if there's something going wrong, you're going to fix it itself. So, which means that I have time now to do important things. Previously, I was doing the mundane work. Now I can do important things. Similarly, for employees, our engineers, they're spending less time debugging stuff because they have all the self-correction and auto-correction happening. And even in cases where it's something new that's happening, they can figure it out and train it, and the next time they don't need to worry about it anymore. And for product managers, it's amazing because when customers are using a particular feature, when customers are not using it, what's useful, what's making lots of money, what's not making lots of money. So the cycle is reduced to such a short time. You know what to build much faster. You don't need to wait for customer feedback and surveys and all that stuff. So it speeds up, innovation and development. And last but not the least, eat your own dog food or drink your own champagne, right? And it makes it super easy. Our entire network is running on, our stuff. And now with Gen AI coming, there's a lot more new frontiers. We can do co-pilots, to speed up development, testing, lots of things to be done. So we're just embracing AI in a full way. And from legal documents to running networks, there's a lot of stuff to be done.
Wow, that's impressive. And to bring the employees along this journey, because I'm sure it would have required upskilling, retraining as well. I'm sure you did all of that too, correct?
We are still in the process of that. I think, this is new to everyone, right? One of the things which you have a dearth of is, AI analysts and data scientists and whatnot. But everybody's trainable. I think one of the good things about smart people is that they can move from discipline 1 to discipline 2 if you provide the right amount of training. So investment is important. So you're not going to be left behind. You don't need to have any fear of missing out. You just need to have the right attitude and the aptitude.
I like it. The right attitude and the right aptitude. I like that a lot. So maybe in conclusion, any learnings for, other companies to take away, based on the fact, as you said, you're doing everything from what I call productivity in the back office to really your own product suite to beyond. So any learnings? I mean, if people are just starting this journey, what would you recommend?
I think at a minimum, people should automate processes, whether it's, quote to cash, things from the back office to the front end, chatbots for customer service. Automation is number one. Once you do automation, I think using AI insights to proactively solve problems, reduce all this workload, and actually improve productivity. And also, may say one thing, it's actually good for sustainability too, because if you solve these problems, you're avoiding the truck rolls. Yeah. So it's good for a better planet too. So start small, but start with automation, engage in AI, Gen AI, and the world is wide open.
So start small, but have a bigger ambition. So,
absolutely.
So thank you, Manoj. That was very insightful and really good to have you here in Davos, and enjoy the snow.
Thank you, Vaishali. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.